Hey, everybody. We're going to be starting at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be starting the webinar. Today, we are going to be doing a recording. We're here in beautiful Coronado, California. You can see we had our mastermind today. We have our group, or just a few of our group on the mastermind coming out on a boat ride. And so what we're trying to do is we're going to run this, and then at the end I will come in and ask questions. So it's a semi-live event. So we're going to be starting in 2 minutes. I'll wait and at 4 o'clock and start exactly on 4 o'clock. But just to let you know, my partner Jorge, this is the recording for him. But we will be starting in 2 minutes. It's to launch real consumer brands in 90 days. We're going to take you through a step-by-step process, how to launch a CPG brand in 90 days. So we're going to be doing that. So keep here. We are going live. Sorry, we are live. We're going to be doing a recording, and then we'll come back and answer questions. So we'll be back to answer your questions live. We're going to be starting in 2 minutes. So get something to drink, get a cup of coffee, get a pen and paper, or take your notes. And by the way, if there was something that we go really quick by and you miss it, this will be going tomorrow. Even the one with questions on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to go on our YouTube channel and see it tomorrow. So don't worry if you don't have a pen and paper. But usually I always have my pen and paper, take notes, and then write down your questions. So normally when it's live, I'm all about you interrupting me and asking questions while we're going through it. Unfortunately, this one, you got to wait to the end and we'll answer all your questions. So it's about 30 to 45 minutes long, but we're in beautiful San Diego, California, Coronado. If you guys are NASCAR fans, we have the NASCAR race here at the Coronado Navy, I don't know what it's called. Navy Yard is probably Navy base, the right word. And it was super cool. So this is Coronado, if you can see it. Here we go. We're going to be starting. Fernando is, if there's people in, we can go ahead and start. It's exactly 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Go ahead and start. Go ahead and start the recording, and then I'll come back and answer questions. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hopefully you're at the right place. This is the Fast Moving Consumer Goods webinar. We do it every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, and I have my co-host and co-founder, Jorge Olson. Jorge, are you on?
I'm on.
All right. Well, welcome. We got quite a few people on today from all over the different parts of the country. I see a couple of international ones too. I assume that's from our guests in Mexico. But let's go ahead and start. You clicked on to join how to launch a product in 90 days, a consumer brand in 90 days. And you're talking to the two right guys who have done this for the last 30 years. We've launched over 1,000 items. Jorge, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure, we're gonna have official introductions in a few clicks. My name is Jorge Olson. I'm here to answer your questions. Please interrupt us with questions. Don't worry about it. We're here for you. You can write them down in the chat as we go, because we're going to talk about so many things. If you can go to the next slide, Sandro. We're going to talk about so many things that you might say, wait, I need more information about that. We also want to thank our sponsor, CPG Experience. He is part of the incubator. If you plan on going to a trade show, don't spend $20,000, $30,000 to be at that trade show with your booth. Together with us in CPG Experience, you can share very, very large booths where you pay a very, very minimal fee, about 10% or 7% of what you would pay on your own, and you get to share leads with other entrepreneurs. Thank you for the sponsorship.
Yeah, Shannon, thank you for being our sponsor. We're excited, and our first show will be coming up in LA. So we're going to invite everyone at the end to come meet us.
That's right. We're going to go through a lot. Don't get overwhelmed with the slides. We're going to cover coastal distribution, formulation. We're going to cover how to sell online, manufacturing, getting samples, getting funding. We're going to cover merchandising. We're going to cover product validation, pricing, IP, what you can and cannot get in intellectual property. And of course, how to work with us in every step of the way. If you want to, you can ask your questions so we can tailor this to you. For example, if you're in formulation, you can type formulation. If you are in manufacturing right now, you can type manufacturing. If you are already in sales and distribution in Target or Walmart or 7-Eleven, type that so we can talk about that a little bit as well. If you're doing warehouse programs to Whole Foods, you can type that as well. We want to tailor this to you, so let us know where you are in your adventure, so then we can address that as we go.
Perfect. Okay, starting assembly stage number 1, Jorge.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over, of course, your questions, but also from idea all the way to having a product ready to go on the shelves in 90 days. So you can get an idea that this can take 2 years. Usually we get people in that already spent 2 years and $200,000, and they're nowhere in this process where we want them to be. So today we're going to talk about what we can do and how we do it to go from idea to the shelf, or at least idea validation with samples ready to go for buyers, investors, etc. in 90 days. Is it possible? Yes, we've done up to 30 products. We did it for Snoop Dogg in 90 days.
Here is so Jorge, the reason we talk about this quite a bit, this is a Nielsen study that 85% of all consumer brand goods fail within the first year. And we call and we talk to people that we met right along the way that are in our database. And it's not because the product was not good, not because of bad product taste, not because lack of passion. It's they had poor execution, right? They didn't know what to do next, so they just started guessing and doing things in the wrong order.
Yep, that's right. And it's not just what they say, right? It's not just Nielsen's. We have the same experience. When we see our database of 30,000 founders, we see the ones that work, the ones that didn't work, and it's not the product. It's not because it's not the best tasting.
Correct. So here's a little bit of the chain, and you can explain this really well, Jorge.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we need to see where you are in your process. That's for everybody, because everybody is in a different stage. Some of you are in formulation, some of you are in idea. And this is where we start. Let's say that everybody's starting from scratch. Then we need the foundation for everybody. This is about 1 to 6 weeks is what it takes. And this goes through the structure of your, I think a lot of you don't like this, but your corporation. Hopefully you don't have an LLC and you have a corporation, a C Corp, if you want to scale. If not, that's fine. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over your perfect consumer, because you need to start thinking now about how you're going to sell to your perfect consumer. Everything else derives from your perfect consumer backwards. We're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about your financials, your sales, your distribution, your supply chain, but in numbers. What is your cost of goods sold? What's the percentage to give a distributor? How about if you sell on TikTok Shop? What's going to be the real cost of that? All of that ties in to the first part, which is phase 1. Then we go into phase 2, which is now we're in action. Now we're selling. We recommend that you start as well with direct to consumer. Why? Because you can communicate directly with the buyer. If we don't do that, you're talking to a distributor. You never know where your product is selling. It's very important for us to speak and get feedback from the consumers. That comes from direct to consumer, getting affiliates and other strategies that we use. And of course, scaling, this is what everybody wants. This is where we come from. This is our world, wholesale distribution. Selling to thousands, hundreds of thousands of accounts in the US and Mexico. It's where we come from. And when we start a product, a project, a company, we're always with the exit in mind. We started to exit. We don't start it to cash flow. We start these companies to exit. And we've exited in many different ways, and we'll go over them as well in the next couple of minutes.
So here's the roadmap that we use, right? Is at the beginning, most people are confused. They don't know where to start. That's what we find out when we meet a lot of our customers, a lot of our partners in our incubator. They come in and the first thing they want is a formulation, right? That's the first thing. And then we start asking them, who is your avatar? Who's your perfect client? And they can't answer that question. What is the delivery vehicle? Well, we want a 10 ounce or a 12 ounce bottle. Okay. And then we start asking more questions. So when there isn't a plan, then it starts to fall out of line. Or we meet them where they have a product ready to sell and we ask them if they've trademarked their product yet, which is something they should do at the beginning. So we have a step-by-step plan that goes week by week that helps you lay this out from idea to do it. And then a lot of times, and you said this right, Jorge, we feel bad when we meet someone that comes to us after 2 years and has spent $250,000 because they made all these mistakes along the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I have a story just off I have 20 or 30, but let me tell you just one. I had a gentleman, he had a terrific idea with a custom mold, and he went and he spent a lot of money, as you know, to do his own custom plastic PET mold, and it was fantastic. It looked fantastic, the product was incredible, and then I looked at it and I said, that's not gonna fit. Well, what do you mean? Did you go measure the shelves? What do you mean? Did you go measure the shelf at the store and the refrigerator shelf? No. Okay, go do it. He went, it didn't fit. 250,000 bottles.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Here's a lot of the myths that we talk about, right? We talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. Just so everyone knows, we have the largest LinkedIn group on LinkedIn for fast moving consumer goods. We have over 41,000 members in it. So we talk to quite a few of them every day, both online, in person, on Zoom. And there's a lot of myths, and we want to, get it from the hobbyist to the CEO, right? If my idea is good enough, it will sell, right? That's the one we hear the most, Jorge. But what's the truth, right?
Well, the truth is this. I had a publicly traded company that came to us for capsules. They wanted capsules, one for fat loss, one for, it would be so that you could eat carbs and it would trap the carbs, and one for energy. And fabulous packaging, fabulous everything. They said, let's go and open 1,000 stores to test it. Great. Let's go open 1,000 stores. That's not hard, by the way. We went and we opened 1,000 stores and we said, okay, now what are we going to do? How are we going to make it so that it turns, so that once we sell it into the store, it sells over and over again? And they said, no, we don't need to do that. It's so fantastic. It's going to sell on its own. And as you can imagine, a month later, the stores called us, can you come pick up your product?
Right.
1,000 stores. Painful.
Right. Very painful. The second myth that we hear all the time is they want to focus on the product. We want to focus on the product. We want to make it perfect before we go on and think about the business. And we come at it from a different point of view, right? We need to make sure there's enough margin. Someone who hasn't done this before believes that the price they're selling for is the retail price. And that's very, very far from the difference, from what really happens. You may sell your product for $2.99 on the shelf, but you're not getting $2.99, right? There's people in the middle, right? We always call it the wonderful freight is in the middle. There's the retailer margin that's in the middle. There's the distributor in the middle that needs to make it. So we need to focus on that. Those things need to be focused on before we can then design what the product is, or look at what our competition is, look at the size, look at all those things. And then the last one, probably one of the myths that me and you battle all the time, is when our clients say to us that they want to order a truckload of product because they get the best price. Okay? We deal with that on a constant basis. And yes, it's true, volume cures all ill. So if you want to order 10,000 of them, or a truckload, yes, you're going to get a better price at a truckload. So your co-manufacturer is going to convince you to do it at a truckload price because you get a better price doing that. But here's what happens, right? Something inevitably will go wrong. Again, we've launched 1,000 products. We've made every mistake in the book, right? The co-man can make a mistake. The formulator can make a mistake. The printer can make a mistake. So what we always recommend is what we call POC, or proof of concept. So once you do the proof of concept, you can take the product from formulation to actually making it in the factory, but do 10,000 bottles instead of a truckload, which is 100,000 bottles. And then you can use those products for samples. You can use them for affiliates. You can use that to raise capital. Write it off as marketing. Don't look at it as a COGS, a cost of goods sold. So I think those are the three biggest myths that we wanted to get past, is that you need to think like a CEO and not think as a hobbyist.
Or a formulator or a designer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk a little bit, Jorge, about the 90-day execution framework?
Yeah, we're going to go over each one of these one by one. And again, if you're stuck in one of these, let us know so that we can talk more about it. Let's start.
Well, a little bit about us. We said we were going to give you formal introductions. So my name is Sandro Pianconi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fast Moving Consumer Goods. I've been doing this for 30 years. So I guess I started when I was 9. No, I'm just kidding. And Jorge, the same at 30. We've launched over 1,000 items. We've built distribution companies both in the US and Mexico. Jorge distributed to 17,000 stores in the US, and together we had a Miller beer distributor in Mexico.
Yeah. And 17,000 stores with our own trucks, training our own distributors, plus chains. All of the chains, Target, Walmart, 7-Eleven, Circle K. I did programs for Target, for 7-Eleven, for Walgreens. I did probably 50 programs for Walgreens, for 4,000 Walgreens. We're also the authors of Build Your Beverage Empire, now in 3rd edition, and Wholesale MBA, Marketing Karma, and 10 other books. We've sent together 3 companies public, and all together 5 companies public. So quite a few.
Quite a few. We talked about launching over 1,000 products, consumer good products, from food, beverage, supplements, alcohol. In our incubator, we have a iDrink, to a energy drink, to a tequila, to a protein bar, a dentist, a toothpaste, a mouthwash with that's all organic. So from formulation to manufacturing to supply chain, wholesale distribution, retail, export to Mexico, we've done it all.
And we've owned manufacturing plants as well, where we've manufactured, I don't know how many products for how many companies, but everything from capsules to shots to beverages to 50,000 square feet we had in San Diego, manufacturing every single day. Yeah. And of course, we work with some stars, not only with companies like Miller and Budweiser and those guys, but also with some celebrities as well.
Yeah, we have a celebrity division that me and used to run. So Snoop Dogg is one of our clients. Rick Ross, Cheech and Chong. You in the past has dealt with Steve Young. Who was the basketball player that went to Korea?
Well, I've done 3. Carmelo Anthony, Shaquille O'Neal, and Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, that's right. That's right. Very good. Okay, here's the blueprint. If we want to go with phase 1, you can start. I'll jump in when we talk about the corporation and IP. I like that kind of stuff. I know you're more on the marketing side, but we'll start.